you all to YogaLeher GeetaMehek. So again, once again, we are meeting today. Last time we did some yoga things that we can do after you go for a walk. Today we will do something different. So one of the things that always all of us are going to face sooner or later is aging. And what is aging? First of all, let's define that. The aging is not about the wrinkles on your face, but aging is more about loss of balance, because a lot of people will start having falls as you get older. Loss of flexibility, because here you are, doing everything when you're young, and then you have to reach something in the back of the car, and then you can't reach it because your back is not as flexible, your movements are not as flexible. And the third is loss of strength, loss of muscle mass, loss of bone density. So let's do some yoga today, which will help you have more graceful aging so that you can have better balance and better flexibility and more strength. There is lots of poses you can do, but so there's no end to it, but we only have an hour. So we're going to start some poses, and if you do them, you can see the recording later and keep repeating them. So we'll start with standing today so that you can have better balance and better flexibility and more strength. There is lots of poses you can do, but so there's no end to it, but we only have an hour. So we're going to start some poses, and if you do them, you can see the recording later and keep repeating them. So we'll start with standing today so that you can have better balance and better flexibility and more strength. There is lots of poses you can do, but so there's no end to it, but we only have an hour. So we're going to start some poses, and if you do them, you can see the recording later and keep repeating them. So we'll start with standing today. Okay. So that you can have better balance and better flexibility and more strength. There is lots of poses you can do. So my recording over and over again, an hour. So I'm not sure what's going on. Some poses, and if you do them, you can see the recording later. And anybody else hearing this recording? Standing today. Okay. So that you can have better balance and better flexibility and more strength. There is lots of poses you can do. So my recording over and over again, an hour. So I'm not sure what's happening here. Manan bhai, the recording is okay. Maybe the recording has stopped. Okay. So we will continue. I think somehow my voice was going over and over. I don't know if you guys were hearing it, but I was hearing myself over and over. So let's come to standing poses. And let's start with a little bit of standing. Okay. So here we are. Take your position on your mat. If you don't have a mat, you can have it on the grass or the your floor, your carpet, anywhere you are. Let's take some breathing while we're standing. So your feet can be hip distance apart, a little bit wider if that's better for you. They can be a little bit together too if that is more stable for you. So pick up your toes and spread all your toes wide and then plant them on the mat. So really planting your foot down. Let's roll the shoulder and let's bring the shoulder down. So we are not going like this. We are rolling the shoulder and bringing it back. Let's do this little bit, couple of deep breaths in this pose. We will inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Couple more breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. Last time, in through your nose and out through your nose. Let's bring our feet a little bit wider apart. Let's take a deep inhale and arms raised overhead. Clasp your fingers Show your palms to the ceiling. Cause a little back bend if you have it. Exhale, and let's take the hands to the right. So we're going to take the hands to the right. Inhale, come back to the middle. Exhale, and let's go to the left. Inhale, come back to the middle. Exhale, arms by your side. Let's do another one while standing. Inhale, arms overhead. Let's stretch, 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 stretch. And now let's go on your tippy toes. So let's go on your tippy toes. Exhale, plant your heels down, hands to the side. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, arms overhead. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Let's go on the tippy toes. Exhale, arms to the side. One last time. Inhale, arms overhead. Pull yourself up, up, up. And let's go on the tippy toes. You can stay on the tippy toes if you're doing by yourself for much longer, like 5 to 10 breaths. We are, of course, not standing as long. Exhale to the side. Let's take our feet wider apart. Now here, when you take wide, you can point your toes at an angle. So we're going to keep it a little bit at the angle. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, let's sit down in the pose. So we're going to open ourselves up. So our back's a little bit straight. Back straight, straight. And you're going down. If you have available, you can even come up on your tippy toes. Your arms can even be on your back. Plant your heels down. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, arms to the side. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, let's sit down. So open yourself up. So we're not going here. We're keeping it as straight as possible. You can go on your tippy toes if you have. Okay. And let's come out to the pose. I'm going to, okay. Now, from here, you can come to the top of the mat. So I'm going to be on the side only because it helps us better in terms of, getting into, for you to be able to see my pose. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, let's bend from the waist. And let's do a forward fold. Let's cycle our knees in this position. So let's do a little bit of cycling, little bit bending, alternate bending of the knees. Now let's keep the right knee bent, left knee straight, right hand on the floor. Inhale, left arm gets raised. Exhale, let's come down. Bend the left knee, right knee straight, left hand on the floor. Inhale, right arm raises up. Now make sure you do not lock the right knee. So while my right knee is straight, it is not locked. So don't lock your knee. Locking the knee will hurt your knees over time. Exhale, let's come on down. Bend your knees, lower your hips. Inhale, let's come on up. Big inhale, exhale, arms to the side. Now we're going to try to do tree pose. So again, for balancing, right? So how do we do the tree pose? Let's keep the right foot planted. The left foot will have either the option to be right next at the ankle. You can take it between the ankle and the knee, or you can take it higher up between the knee and the groin. You can even, if you want to, you can take it like this. Now, the only thing with this is that the left knee should not be pointing forward. It should be pointing to the side. So if you think this is going to make your knee come forward, go down, because it'll all depend on the balance. So if we see from side pose, this is how it should be. So this left knee is completely in line, or here, or here. So wherever you're comfortable, let's come into that position. You can keep the hands to the side, bring it to the heart center when it's available for you. And if it's available, you can take it overhead. You can also close your eyes. See how the eyesight really is needed for balance. I closed my eyes, now I have to open. Let's bring it back to the heart center. And let's do it. Now let's try that on the other side. Let's put the left feet on the mat. And then let's, I have some issues with my daughter in the college, hence I think the college is calling, but let's do this first. So let's plant the left foot on the mat. The right foot goes on the left ankle, or it will go between the left knee and the left ankle, or it comes all the way up, right here, between the left groin and the left knee. You can also pick it up and put it here. Some people even put it like right here, whatever is available to you today. And each side looks different, so we don't have to do the same thing on each side. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, you can take the arms overhead. You can also close your eyes. And let's bring the hands down. Bring your right foot down. Shake your left ankle, right ankle. Okay. And now we'll do another pose, which is actually very good hip opener. And we have actually done a little bit in the past, and we will repeat that today. So in this, we will keep the legs as wide as your mat. So pretty much like this. If you don't have a mat, this is how much it will be. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to heart center, and let's sit down in Malasana. So in Malasana, you're just sitting down. And why it is important as we age, because our backs get so tight. So we are going to do some lower opening of the back. So in this, let's not go down like this. Let's keep the back completely straight. Now, if the back can't stay straight, then let's come on the tippy toes. So you can come on the tippy toes, put your hands down to keep yourself straight. So this will, because if you're tight, that means we just need to gradually get you to open. So that can help. You can put a pillow underneath. Otherwise, just stay here. Put your arms on the mat. And let's come back into a forward fold. Let's hold the big toe with both our little finger and the index finger. Let's hold the big toe. Now this we're going to do an active forward fold, but sometimes if this is too little for you, you can also put your palms underneath your feet. Inhale, exhale. Let's go. Pull with your biceps and let's go deeper into the fold. You can bend your knee quite a bit here. Let your head hang loose. Release your hands. Drop your hips. Bend your knees. Inhale, come on up. And arms to the side. Now, we're going to do a few poses which are more about the warrior poses. Why do we do the warrior poses? So that we can build more leg strength. Okay, so let's come to the top of the mat. And from here, let's take the left foot back. So left foot back, right knee front. Let's bend the right knee. So we can get into warrior poses many different ways. But today we're just going to go the simple way. You can do it anywhere in front of your TV. I like to give, a lot of times I like to say, if you're not doing yoga, try it any time of the day. Just do some of this pose. Now imagine what strength you're gradually going to build in your thigh muscles and your bones. So here what we're doing is the left foot is almost like a 45-degree angle. The right foot toes are pointing forward. Now, what about my pelvis? Pelvis is going to face this side. So it's not going forward. It's going to face here. Inhale, arms extend to the side. Now make sure you're not going like this to the front. Stay in the middle. If you find yourself having a tough time doing that, come up a little bit. Nobody's watching you. This is all online. Nobody's judging you. You're not competing against anybody. Now, what you have to be careful about, as you're going into the pose, the outer aspect of your left foot in the back, make sure it's grounded. It's not coming off. So keep that foot grounded. And then this right knee, make sure it's not dropping in. So a lot of people, when they start doing it, this knee starts going in. Let's keep this knee out. So let's keep this knee out. My body has to turn this way. Turn your palms, right palm facing up. Take a big inhale. Exhale. Let's go into a reverse warrior. So let's go backward. Let me show you from the side. So we are here. And now, reverse warrior. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, let's put your right elbow on the right thigh. And let's sweep this hand forward, extended side angle. And now this hand can stay here. If it wants to, it can go down. But if that's too tough, just keep it here. Inhale, come on up, straighten the right knee. So now both the knees are straight. Big inhale. Exhale. Let's go forward and then down. So now we are into a triangle, the Trikonasana. Here also make sure you're not coming forward. You're opening yourself. If this is too hard, bring your back leg a little in. Bring your back leg in. Then you can go forward and go down. Making sure you're not locking this knee. Always a micro bend in the knees. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, let's do a reverse triangle. So I like my triangle to be a little bigger. So this is a big stretch. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale. Let's take both the hands on the mat, right knee bent. Turn your left foot and take your right foot back. So now you are in a plank. You can also cycle your knees here in the plank. Take an inhale. You can come a little forward then. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Straighten your foot. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, head down. Turn your toes in, downward facing dog. Here, let's cycle your knees again. So we get a little more flexibility there. Here, you want to keep your elbows facing forward. The inside of the elbows are facing forward. The palms are planted well. All the fingers are planted. Inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale, gradually bring the knee forward between the palms. Plant the left knee down. Lift the left knee up. And let's bring the left leg forward. Again, you're in a forward bend. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, come on up. Exhale to the side. So here we are. We're going to do the whole thing on the other side. I'm feeling hot, so I'm going to lower the temperature. Let's come back to the top of the mat. So everything gets, oh, actually I should do it on here because then you can see it better. So inhale, arms overhead. Actually, we went straight from the pose, right? So but we can do it this way. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, let's get into the pose. So right leg back. Now, right foot is at 45 degrees. Left toes are facing forward. Left knee is not falling inside. It's going to stay outside. The outside edge of the right foot is planted firmly. Okay, so let me see if I can get a better pose here. Inhale, arms straight out. You can look towards the left fingertips. There are many variations, even in this pose. There's so many that you can do. For warrior poses, if you can stay in the pose a little longer, you build better strength there. Now, if your arms get tired, turn your palms facing upward. Drop your elbows. So, we are not, we don't always can sustain the same strength in the elbow. This is fine. You can rest here, but you're building your strength here. Turn your left palm up, big inhale. Exhale, reverse warrior. Here you can look up or you can actually look at your right toe, right foot. So you can look down also. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, left elbow to left thigh. Sweep your right hands and let's look up. You can also look down. Some people like to hold the left ankle. You can even go on the floor. Inhale, come on up. Straighten the left knee. Big inhale. Exhale, come forward, and then let's drop down. Now here, some people do like to adjust. Now imagine, this is not just a triangle and stretching, but it's also utilizing your balance. Again, you're not going forward, you're opening up. If you're having trouble opening up, shorten your legs. You will be better able to open up. Inhale, come on up. And we'll do the reverse triangle. Exhale. exhale, let's go into reverse triangle. Inhale, come on up. We're going to do, actually, let's do that. Exhale, let's come down. Let's take the left foot back. Now you're in a plank on this side. Again, you can bite your legs. Now, plank, of course, is a great pose, most of you know, for entire core. Big inhale, exhale, knee, chest, and chin to the mat. Flatten your foot, inhale, cobra. Now, cobra can be right here. You can straighten your arms this time. Big inhale here. Exhale, bend your toes. Downward facing dog. Let's cycle your knees. Lift your hips up. Drop your chest. Get your elbows to face forward. So basically your shoulders externally rotated. You can even bring your feet in so your heels are touching, or you can take them way back if you're feeling tight. Inhale, raise the left leg up. Exhale, gradually bend your knees, bring it forward, 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 forward. Plant it between your hands. Drop your right knee. Take a big inhale, lift your right knee. Exhale, let's bring it forward. Again, into a forward fold. You can again cycle your knees. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale, let's come on up. We've been doing, let's come to the side. We've been doing a lot of standing poses, so we should do a few of sitting poses also. So how do we get into a sitting pose? So let's go from standing to sitting. So let's come to the top of the mat. Actually, let's do the malasana and then we'll go in sitting and we'll figure it out. So let's keep your legs at the toes pointed at like 45 degrees. Big inhale and exhale. Let's sit down in malasana. Now here, as you're sitting down in malasana, back is straight. You're looking forward. And then from here, let's go down in the sitting posture without touching the floor. Now we also want to do some twists because our back needs to have a lot more twist. We lose this rotation. So let's keep the left knee bent and the right knee above and across the left. So here we are. We're going to be inhaling and sitting up tall. So first, let's figure out a tall position. And let's take the right arm back and place it in the back. So the right arm goes in the back. Back remains as straight as possible. Inhale, left arm overhead. Exhale, and let's take the left elbow next to the left knee. So on the inside. So like here, it's going on this side. Now, if you can't do it, then you just hold the left knee. If you can do it, you will do it this way. You can even hold the right ankle. Sorry, not left knee, right knee. So right here, getting this hook. And take a big inhale, exhale. Let's rotate back. So let's try to look beyond the right shoulder. So we're creating a twist It's great for the GI system, but it's great for the back also. Exhale, unwind yourself. Let's keep our feet just like this. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, let's go forward. Feel the stretch on the right thigh and glutes. Inhale, come on up. Let's reverse. So now the right knee bends, the right feet is underneath, the left foot goes across the right knee. The left hand goes behind. Sit up tall. Inhale, right arms overhead. Exhale, let's hook around the left knee. So you're hooking it here. Big inhale. Again, exhale, let's rotate back. Some you can even hook it around. I'm not gonna, and now you can always hold like this. That's the beginning. Keep your back straight, big inhale, exhale, and twist a little bit more. Now the twist should come from your spine and not just your head. Inhale, come on forward. Exhale down. Inhale. Now let's go back in this position. Remember we did on the other side? Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, let's go down. Let's come on up. We're going to now do a pose that is again a great arm strength. And a lot of you do walking. So if you're walking, then you are building some of the leg muscles, but then we need to make sure we're also building arm muscles and bone strength. So when you're walking, you're not building arm strength, and lots of older people will have wrist fractures, very common when they fall. So first of all, the fall happens because they don't have as much flexibility, and then as much balance for you. And then the reason then the wrist fracture is because their bones are thin. So we want to work on the balance, but then we want to make sure our bones are strong. And for a lot of women especially, these wrist bones get fractured. So let's do some exercises which will over time strengthen your arms. Nothing is in one day. So let's keep the fingers back. The tips of the fingers are facing towards the hip. The feet are planted hip distance apart. Let's keep our back straight. First, let's take a big inhale and exhale. With your next inhale, you're going to lift the hip up and let's come into a tabletop. Now the neck will not drop down, it'll just stay flat. Your body is really a lot of weight on your shoulder and in your arms. Exhale, let's come on down. Let's hook both our shins from alternate, go from underneath and hook it. And let's give a big curl. So we're going to curl our back. Just as a counter pose. Inhale, come on up. We're going to do this time. You're going to keep the legs straight. We're going to do the same thing, but with the legs straight. If you cannot do it, then do it with the bent knee again. But if you have it, then you can do it. The fingers are again facing the hips. First, let's take an inhale and exhale. Now with your next inhale, let's lift the butt up and let's drop our heads down. Exhale, let's come on down. Let's give ourselves a big hug. From here, let's take our, let's do, if you have available, Padmasana. So we are going to do the left foot on the right thigh. If you don't have it, then if you can't do anything more than this, then that's fine. If you have it, you'll pick up your right ankle and put it on the left thigh. So now you are in this pose. So from this pose, you can gradually go down. If available, you can lay down. Now, if you don't have it available, you just stay here. If your feet cannot be here, then just be here. So I am wherever you are, whatever is available to you. Now, again, like I said, practices develop over time. If only one foot goes up, stay that way. So if you're doing Padmasana, you're going to go on your elbow. If that is what is available. If you can go down, you will just lay flat down. So this creates a good curve in your back. Now, if available from here, you can take your hands next to your head. Both the hands, elbows are facing upwards. You can do an inhale and raise your head up. So your head and neck is actually curved back. You can take your hands and hold both big toes. This is a great back, for your spine, for your thyroid. And next, get your hands back up there. Unwind yourself. Come up self to the sitting position and then unhook yourself. Let's take your legs straight forward. I'm going to make sure we are keeping with the time. So here we are. Let's keep the feet flexed. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, let's bend forward. Now here, make sure you're bending from your waist. So you're not curving your back to try to reach. You're bending from the waist. So you actually don't go down too much because you're curving, you're keeping the back straight and going down from your hips. So here, you can even leave your hands back so you're not cheating. You can bend your knees quite a bit though. So if that helps. But the idea is the chest comes forward rather than rounding the back. So chest is forward, back is straight. You can hold the ankle. Sometimes it helps to even hook your hands underneath the knees. That will help coming forward too. So basically you're getting more of a stretch in the lower back. Exhale, come on up. Let's bring both the soles of the feet together. Let's open the sole of the feet like a book. Let's hook our hands onto the toes. You can even take it a little bit down. Inhale, straight back. Again, I like to show it from the side because there's a tendency to round the back. Exhale, let's bring the chest forward. Back remains straight. You can push the thighs with your elbows. So you kind of feel like in the scapula, if I put a pencil down in the middle of the back, you should be able to hold the pencil. So we're keeping a scapula, which is like these shoulder bones, like these bones, the big bones in the back. They kind of have to stay together. You're not bringing them forward. Exhale, let's round the back. Now you're going to open it up. Inhale again, let's bring the chest forward. Exhale and round the back. Inhale, come on forward. And from here, let's do one which is on all fours. And then we can do more laying down positions before we call it a day. Again, the idea is what we are trying to do: flexibility, balance, and strength. So for balance, what can we do while we are here? We can do curl your toes, lift, and this will actually build a lot of strength too. So lift your knees off the mat and let's just stay there. So the knees are off the mat, kind of strength building, and then let's plant it back. Flatten your feet again. Now let's do alternate hands and legs. Let's straighten the right hand forward and let's straighten the left leg. So now we have the right hand, left leg. Take an inhale, and if available, let's raise it above. So you can, the other toe, you can keep it flat or you can keep it like a toes curl, your choice. This is also great for the core. Exhale, let's come on down. Let's do it on the other side. Let's straighten the right leg, left hand. You can stay here. You can try just doing a little bit, whatever is available to you. Inhale, come on up. And then one side is usually more balanced than the other. So that's fine too. Don't judge yourself. Exhale, let's come on down. Let's go into child pose. In child pose, you can keep the knees together or you can keep the knees wide apart. So it's really your choice. Some days one will feel better than the other. Whatever feels good to you today, do that. Let's walk our hands to the right. You can pull the left hand with your right hand, or if you want to relax your right hand, you can take your right hand to the right feet and just rest your right hand. Inhale, come back to the middle, and let's walk our hands to the left. You can bring your left hand down by your left foot. Let's come back to the middle. From here, let's go back onto our backs. Lay down on your back, feet on the mat, feet hip distance apart. Let's rock side to side, hands on the side, or they can be overhead, your choice. Let's rock small rocks and then big rocking from side to side. Let's come back to the middle. Take a big inhale. Exhale and drop the knees to the left. You can look towards your right hand if they are to the side, or if they're overhead, you can leave it overhead, doesn't matter. There'll be a little bit different stretch in each position, so it's all your choice. Let's bring back to the middle, and let's drop it to the right. Let's come back to the middle. Let's give ourselves a big stretch. Straighten your legs, straighten your hands. You can again interlace your fingers, show your palms. Do the other side. Big stretch, big yawn. You just woke up. And exhale, bring your knees to the chest. Rock side to side. Let's make some big circles with the hips. So here, let's do some 3 big circles in one direction. And then let's do big circles of the hip in the other direction. Come back to the middle. Big inhale. Exhale, drop your knees to the left. Right hand extends to the right side. Hold your right knee with your left hand and take it across. So again, a big twist. Let's inhale, come back to the middle. Exhale, and let's drop it to the other side. Pick up your left knee with your right hand and take it across. Left hand extends to the left side. Look towards your left hand. You can keep your eyes closed. You're just cooling down now along with the twist. Inhale, come back to the middle. Let's straighten the left leg. I like this particular twist a lot. So let's keep the right knee bent. Let's give the right knee to the left hand. Take a big inhale. Exhale. Let's take the right knee all the way to the floor. Right hand extends to the right side. It may not touch the floor. Really, mine is not touching today. It all depends. Let's make some big circles with the shoulder. So touch all the points on the floor that you can touch. Big circle. And let's open it up again. So this is a great twist to pick up stuff from the back of the car. Inhale, come back to the middle. Exhale, straighten the right leg. And big inhale. Exhale, bring the left knee in. Hold the left knee with your right hand and twist to the right. Take the left knee to the right. Extend your left arm. Now this side for me is touching on the floor. So I don't know. Each side is different. Let's make big circles with the left shoulder. So we make some shoulder joint rotations, and let's open it up again. Inhale and come back to the middle. Our time is quite up, but we'll do one last one because it is a good one to do. The bridge pose. So let's bring the sole of the feet a little closer so your fingertips, if can touch your heels. If they can, that's okay. The feet are hip distance apart. Take an inhale and tuck your pelvis in. So my back becomes flat when I do that. Exhale, lift your butt off the floor. Don't squeeze your glutes. Instead, push the mat with your feet. Lift yourself up. You can also bring your shoulders underneath and hold both your hands, clasp your fingers. You can go on the tippy toes. You can also bring one leg up, take it down, bring the other leg up, take it down, exhale, let's go down. Let's hug the knees again. And with that, let's straighten our legs for Shavasana. So we're going to bring the legs straight. Now, why Shavasana? Because Shavasana, sometimes people think, oh, it's a waste of time. Why do I need to do it? It doesn't feel like yoga. But remember, yoga is not about just strengthening. Yoga is about ultimate union. So we need to connect to our breath, connect to ourselves. Asana is a way to get your body healthy. And we're going to talk about what body means even from yoga perspective. But Shavasana is an important part of asana. No yogasana session needs to be complete without Shavasana, where you ultimately connect with your breath and cool yourself down so you can be ready for further learning, for further growth. So let's relax. Let your heels, your calves, your hips, your shoulders just drop to the floor. Rotate your shoulder blades so that your hands, your palms can face upwards and your hands can relax like 30 degrees from the body. Bring your attention to your breath, to the tip of your nostril. Just take a regular breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Lots of thoughts probably going on already in your head. Let them be. Just watch your thoughts come and go. Let it go. Imagine your thoughts are just clouds. A new cloud comes and you watch the cloud and let it go. Imagine yourself laying out under the blue sky. And there are light white clouds above you. And each cloud is a thought. Some black, some brown, some slightly gray, and some pure white. Don't judge any thought. Just watch the cloud pass you by. Feel the fresh breeze on your skin. Feel some sun rays on you. And now gradually the sky is clear and you can't seem to find any cloud. The sky is clear, blue, and the sun is bright with the rays uninterrupted falling on you. You realize you are the sun. Fill yourself with the sunlight. You are a bundle of billions of cells. Let the light reach each cell of your body. See yourself becoming lighter and brighter, full of light, full of brightness. When you feel ready, bring your attention to the middle of your forehead, right in the middle of the brows. This is where your third eye is, your intuition, your sense of right and wrong, your wisdom. Allow the light to fill your third eye. And now experience your face just glowing with the sunlight. You are the light. Bring your attention back to your breath at the tip of your nostril. The cool air going in through your nose and the warm air coming out through your nose. When you feel ready, bring your hands to your heart center. You can place your left hand on your chest, your right hand on your belly, and thank yourself for coming to the mat today, for bringing awareness to yourself today. When you feel ready, you can roll over to one side. And gradually bring yourself up to seated position. If your eyes are closed, you can rub your hands. Bring your hands to your thighs, cup your fingers. And with that, we end our yoga session. And it is 8 o'clock. I am going to take this to where I sit for my Gita class. And how's everyone feeling today? Well, if you need to speak, then I need to unmute you. Yes. Yeah, you may have to actually probably raise your hand, then you can speak, because I think you guys are all muted right now. Yeah, I can see. Oh, I can't even unmute you. Huh. So how come I can't? I guess you can. Oh, yeah, there. I think I unmuted you, Sangeeta.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I got that I could do it myself too.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah, I didn't know. Okay, good. So, yeah. So, let's then begin Gita. Is that okay? Oh, yeah, we can keep ourselves unmuted. That's fine, because we can have questions or whatever. Okay, so now let's get to Gita. We are on chapter 3, and last time we did verse 5 and 6. And any questions or thoughts on that anyone had? If not, then we can go ahead and we can start with the verse. Oh, that's the book I need to. Yeah, I really like these two verses. I mean, of course, it seems like I seem to like all the verses, but every time I read a verse, I've been reading Gita now for last, 5 years? But every time I read it, I feel like, oh man, this one is the best one. I'm always going to remember it, but then I forget it again. So it is, but I think these verses are really good, and this will also help explain some of the things that I may have explained to my some of the people from before, but those you may have to, those who are joining new, this is going to be a good opportunity to explain a little more deeper. And of course, this is the Karma Yoga. And so how do we become successful in every action? So, we are all looking for success at those who are working. We are looking for success outside work. If we are working in a nonprofit, we are looking for success there. If we are at home, we are looking for a successful work environment, even at home. So everywhere we are looking for how to be most effective. So that is what Karma Yoga is. And so let's go to verse number 7. And Manoj, you want to read it?
Sure. In order to excel, mentally control the senses, let go all attachments, and engage the body in Karma Yoga, selfless service. That means the mind is totally in control, but he just allows his body to do certain acts for the sake of the actions themselves. Here, a kind of discipline is necessary. For example, you might be preparing food, which we call prasad, to be offered at the altar. You'd sometimes make quite delicious dishes. From the very beginning, your feeling is that you are doing something for God, and it should be very fine and tasty. But according to the Hindu way of thinking, you shouldn't even smell or taste it. If you've already tasted it by your senses, through your eyes, nose, or tongue, it's already eaten. It becomes unfit to be offered. Complete control of the senses is necessary. Of course, in preparing something for another, sometimes you taste it, but not for the sake of your own tongue. You want your guest to have a delicious dish. The action is not for your own sake. If you do the act this way, you are cooking, and yet you are not cooking, because you aren't cooking for your personal enjoyment. This is a case where even though you act, you personally are not acting. It's called inaction.
Right. Thank you, Manoj. So basically, let's decipher this verse a lot more. The inaction in action, we will take it later because it is actually in another verse, which will come later in this chapter. So the actual verse is Karma Indriyani Sanyamya. So Karma Indriyani Sanyamya Ya Aste Manasa Smaran. No, that is the wrong one. Yeah, the next one. That's why I was reading the sixth one. I'm like, didn't we do it? Okay, so now this is very good one. Yatu Indriyani Manasa Niyamya Arabte Arjuna. Karmi. So first verse says, the one who with his mind controls or maintains the control on the niyamya, on the indriya, karmendriya, karma yogam, asakta savishishyate. So there are two things. And now if you notice, we talked about the last verse in verse number 6 is the first time he actually used the word karmendriya. And now again, he uses in verse 7, karmendriya. So he's saying with the mind to control the indriya. And then arabdhe means begin action or perform an action with karmendriya, but in a asakta manner, in a detached manner. So let's decipher that a little bit. So what does that mean? Because this is too many words. So we talked about, and we have talked about before, that how many indriyas are there? There are 10 indriyas. So how do we perform action? What is Krishna saying? Karma indriya, karma yoga. So with the karma indriyas, mean there are 5 karma indriyas, and with the 5 karma indriyas, you're going to do the karma yoga. Okay. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are, suppose the Gyan Indriya, the Indriya of knowledge. So that is your eyes, your ears, the faculty of actually vision, the faculty of hearing, the faculty of touch, taste, and smell. So these are the 5 indriya. Gyan indriya mean the indriyas from which you get the knowledge. So he's not saying do the actions with the knowledge. He's saying do the action with your karma indriya. So which are the karma indriya? So his karma indriya are your the one which is your speech. Then there is your the dexterity, which is your hands. Then there is your feet, the locomotion, which is with your feet. And then there is your sexual organs. And then there is your excretion. So he is not saying that don't engage in action. What did Arjuna wanted to do? Arjuna wanted to take away the action. I don't want to fight the war. Or somebody might say, well, I'm becoming a saint, so I'm going to not do any kind of, I'm not going to do a business. I'm not going to do any kind of work. Or, I'm very wise. I don't talk too much, right? Or I'm going to be a celibate. So Krishna is not saying any of this. He's saying, do the action with all your karmendriyas, but in what mode? As a karma yoga. So these action, he's first of all not telling you not to do action. See, this is one of the biggest things. Right now you are doing action. So you're going to work. Well, you're using your hands, you're using your feet, and you're using your speech. But you are not necessarily doing that while controlling. What is Krishna saying? Have this control in the niyamya, so have that control or regulation of the Gyanendriya. So I'm going to perform, this is a very big skill, right? So I'm going to speak. I can use the power of speech, that is my karmendriya. While I'm using the power of speech, I am going to create a control on my Gyanendriya, I am going to Say example, one person speaks something ill to me. Anisha, you know, this something they see. My hearing, which is my Gyan Indriya, right? It hears it. And then my speech is completely controlled by this, right? So I am taking that in. My Gyanendriya, which is my hearing, is completely uncontrolled. It totally is caught up in that. My sense of hearing is caught up in that. And my speech that is coming out again in reaction to that. So now I'm also going to react with certain words. But what Krishna is saying, you're going to do this speech while controlling your karma. So now the faculty of hearing is there. It's not like I'm not hearing what this person is talking. But because I know that my journey, like, is from point A to point B. And if I respond to this person in a manner where I absorb this, then instead of me going from point A to point B, I'll end up going to point C, which is I'll respond in a way which I'll hate later. It'll turn me, it's a dynamic I don't want to get involved in. In retrospect, I will know I shouldn't have done it. But in the immediate, like, I want to be a self-controlled person, but I right away react. So like, I'm engaging my sense. This is what we do at work. We go to work, some colleague says something, some colleague says something. We respond, this one like this patient like this one. We are responding to everyone. So the Gyanendriya are also complete. You are engaged with your senses. Your sense of hearing and your vision is completely engaged. And then your actions are coming out as a response to that. Krishna is saying, no, do the action. So if I am, seeing a patient, the patient may get angry, but because my Gyanendriya, my sense of knowledge is, I have control. I'm a tortoise. Remember in the second chapter, we talked about become a tortoise. The moment you're put in a situation where your Gyanendriya are getting too involved, become a tortoise and now respond. And how will you respond? In Karma Yoga. How do you use this speech? In Karma Yoga. What does Karma Yoga mean? Well, again, there was a lot of conversation about Karma Yoga in second chapter, but one of the ways is asakta, with complete detachment. So I am doing this action. Karma Yoga is multiple, aspects to it. But one of the aspects he's talking that doing Karma Yoga, using your Karma Indriya in Karma Yoga with complete detachment, complete dispassion is way superior. It is the way to be. So, let's say I want to give you another example. So, for example, you are at work, and not even at work. You are at a gathering. You are at a party, and now a person. There is two kind of people. One who's working with karmendriya, but Gyanendriya under control, and the other person whose senses are also engaged, and of course they are talking and moving action. So karmendriya is also involved. How does this person act and how does this person A, who is in controlled manner, they go to the gathering and they look at everyone. They are involved, they are looking at everyone. So eyes are using the form. They are engaging with everyone, and then they are using their speech or their hands to talk something meaningful. They're having some conversation, which will have some sort of a depth. Now come to person B. Person B senses are there, right? Their senses, they have no control. So they are doing what? She is looking, what is she wearing? What does she look like? Oh, she seems to have gained, oh, she seems to have lost weight. I'm just talking from women perspective. But basically, she's going to the gathering and her sense is completely outward. So she is judging everyone. Now she's also talking. She's also, hands are moving, eating and everything. But the senses are so out there. The eyes are only taking in these impulses. Everything is coming in, you are bombarded and then you are responding. So this person is going to come back from the gathering saying, oh my God, that was so tiring. I am so tired. I mean, everybody was like this. And now after the gathering, she'll have 2-hour gathering about how the party was, right? How the gathering was. Or people come back from work and then they need to come and unload on their family at home because they engage their senses, engage karmendriya, you are doing the work. First of all, you're not doing in karma yoga, that is separate. But you are involved with your indriya, there's no control over the indriya. So you're complete. Now you come home and you say, let me tell you how my day went. And everything was bad. It was hardly any good because they were completely using their jnanendriya is outward. And the karmendriya, of course, is doing the action. Whereas this person went to the gathering, they may not yet understand. First step is to understand control of the jnanendriya. So this person is not going to be stressed after coming back. They will say, that was an interesting gathering. I connected with person C. And she told or he told me about this and talked to me about something, some interesting conversation happened. But they did not absorb every little sense that was going on there. They didn't think, oh, what a taste. This food is awful. Every time it's the same food. Because they were least bothered. That this person is awful. This person said this. None of the senses are outward. Senses are inward, but they're performing the action. So two people doing exactly the same thing at work, two people doing exactly the same thing. One appears like they are having a good day and they are generally in good mood. The other is completely in bad mood because their senses are outward constantly. So you see the experience became different. This is if you have not even applied the karma yoga, you are just doing the work with karmendriya and your jnanendriya a little controlled. Now, Krishna is saying even more, very superior is if you engage your karmendriya in the spirit of karma yoga. Karma yoga is nothing but a change in attitude. Right now, you're going 9 to 5 job, but you are doing it as a karma. There is a difference between doing a job as a karma and as a karma yoga. How do I know somebody is doing from karma? When somebody, middle of the week says, oh, thank God it's middle of the week, or they say TGIF, they're doing karma. Because if they were doing karma yoga, they would be as energetic on Friday as on Monday. There cannot be any difference. So karma yoga is what? So one of the aspects is given of karma yoga is asakta, which means without any desire for the results. Or another way to look at it is dispassion. So there are two words that constantly will come in all kind of Vedas and everything, Viveka and Vairagya, right? Vivek means you are using your wisdom to allow Jnanendriya. When Jnanendriya are coming, that's when I use my Vivek. What am I going to allow to come in? What am I going to not allow to come in? What is important, unimportant? I use my Vivek, my wisdom. Vairagya, I use in Karmendriya. I'm doing my action, but with complete absolute detachment. Now, what does that mean? Now, why am I doing the karma? That is the primary question. If you are doing the karma for your personal benefit, what can I get out of it? Right away, you have caused an agitation in yourself. If I are cooking, so that what can I get out of it? Will my husband praise it? Will my friends praise it? What can I get out of it? As long as you have that, you are right away in the karma. You're doing a self, work for self. But if you do the same action in the spirit of giving, in the spirit of just doing the action, the thing is people think, okay, if I'm not doing for myself, then that means success won't come to me. Actually, Krishna will show you how karma yoga is actually 10 times more successful. Which kind of doctor do you want to go to? The reason I bring doctor because, that's my profession. So what kind of doctor do you want to go to? Do you want to go to a doctor that sees you with the vision, this is money for me. This is why I need my house payment is in that patient, right? My watch is in my patient. Why I am working, I'm seeing this patient because I need money. Because my kids need to go to college. Or do you like the physician who says, who intuitively This physician is here because they love to be a doctor. They love to heal. They love to be present. Which of the two physicians will actually be successful? The one who gives without any attachment. Will the result come? Of course the result will come. That one will be more successful given. They will also be more happy because they got in the act of karma itself, result came. They were not waiting for the result. Money transaction, those things come, right? We know they will come. But if the homemaker, if the lady of the house, if she's cooking, in the act of cooking itself, if she's completely giving in the act of cooking itself, then the result does not matter. If suppose she cooked and the husband didn't even come home to eat, but in the act of cooking itself, she got there was nothing she was waiting for to happen afterwards. So every action, whether Krishna is saying, do every action in the spirit with complete detachment to the results of action. Don't worry about the result. So he's teaching Arjuna this. Arjuna is right now attached to the result, but ultimately Arjuna learned he has to do this war because it is his dharma. And so swadharma is what he's doing. He's not waiting to, this is what I'll become and then this will happen. This is for the goodness. He has to do it. And the moment he does in that action, winning of course happens. So Krishna is very clear that, so imagine when you are working in the world, before you even go understand Karma Yoga fully, if you can even differentiate that how much your senses are constantly engaged, and if you can start withdrawing your senses while performing the action. So don't think that you need to withdraw from action. That is one of the big things with spiritually. When you start going spiritually, I'm going to sit in meditation for 2 hours. Meditation can be in action. You see, somebody can be meditated, and then you know how people do puja at home, and then what is happening there, what is cooking there, who is making sound there, they scold they're hearing everything, right? They're doing mala jap, but they're seeing also everything. So their senses are outward. And another person could be working, but their senses are withdrawn. They're working in a project and completely engaged. You can be meditating like that. You don't need to sit in a meditation pose to be meditating. Because if you understand this Jnanendriya, Karmendriya, then my action is there and my Jnanendriya completely withdrawn. This is an art that all of us can learn. Our children may not, are sometimes the younger they are, sometimes they are too engrossed, right? But then you can see some of them, they're kind of, everyone is at a different stage of balance, but you'll find within children also, some are just completely caught up and others are just, they can have that balance. They can be engaged and disengaged. Another example of this is also exams. When people take tests, how do you take test? You're writing the test, right? And at the same time, you've told your mind, don't think about anything else. Don't listen. Right now for 2 hours, I'm not going to think of anything. I'm not going to listen to anything. I just have to take my test. I remember in India, that's how we used to take our test. So we are intuitively, we know that, but we don't practice it all the time. So that is one of the big things I want to talk about. So now let's go to the previous verse in this. In previous verse, he had said that the person who controls his karmendriyan but he is completely in the mind thinking about indriya, the objects of the senses. He is vimud atma mithyachar. He's a hypocrite. So opposite of it. So mind control. So otherwise jnanendriya. So the person who's meditating, but his jnanendriya is everywhere. He's thinking of something, what she said, what he said, of what I saw. They're thinking of everything. That is a hypocrite. And you will find that a lot of times that, all of us have probably had in some sort of experience with hypocrites, because sometimes we get caught up in the ritualism, and then so somebody told us to sit like this, or somebody told us to do this kind of a prayer, but another person seems to be not doing all that, but Krishna, and seems to be busy at work. But Krishna is very clear. the hypocrite. So there are two kind of indulgences, right? If we look at it, there is the mind indulgence. So this is another way to look at it. Mind indulgence and body indulgence. Okay, so when you have the mind indulgence and you have the body indulgence, so both are indulged, then what happens? You have increased desire, you have increased bondage, right? This is how we are. People say, oh, I don't like to do karma. Karma causes bondage. Or, the more we do karma, the more we are getting in bondage. Why? Because we do this. We are engaged with mind and we are engaged with the body constantly. But if we only do mind indulgence, body sitting quietly, then that's the hypocrite. Because your mind is completely involved. A person can be sadhu, doing the temple puja, we have seen, or even we know priests or pastors, right? And then they're doing all kind of wrong stuff. So this is that mind, body, they're doing all the seeming. They're not indulging. Or somebody could be sitting in the cave and doing all kind of mind indulge. That's a hypocrite. If you're doing the body, involved in the body activity, but mind is stable, that is the excellence in action. That is what Krishna wants us to do. Body indulgence. Now, how to do body indulgence while controlling the mind? That is the Karma Yoga. We are going to learn more and more about Karma Yoga, and because just karma is not Karma Yoga. Now, right now, what is happening is we are doing. I'll tell you how we live. We are right now living life. I'm saying it's more generalization, but still, say 9 to 5, we go to work. Right? People go 9 to 5 in India, 9 to 7, God knows how many longer hours. 9 to 5 work. And then 5 to 9, we want to rest and we want to recuperate and we want to indulge in our mind, TV and everything else. What you did 9 to 5, you basically, if you are needing to do all this after 5 p.m. till the next morning 9 o'clock, if you are needing that much recuperation, you automatically know you didn't do Karma Yoga here. If you did Karma Yoga, I'm telling you, you're never going to be tired. Sometimes people will ask, like, how do you do this and how do you manage? Because if you're in Karma Yoga, you accept your sleep, you really are pretty energized because you're not attached to any of the actions. So if you do 9 to 5 job as a karma, only as a work, then even if you sit for 1 hour in meditation in the morning and then you do evening pranayam and yogas, and it's going to be useless because how many hours you're not doing? So you're giving a little bit of time for mental stability, but the rest of the time you're completely involved with the senses and you're doing just work. So your senses are tired by the end of the day. Your mind, what do you say? Your mind, mental exhaustion. People are doing paperwork. Their body is not even moving and they're so mentally exhausted. What is happening is they are involved in karma. So for us to have energy, to have this unstoppable energy all day long, every work needs to be karma. Whether it is 9 to 5 job or whether I'm going to drive my daughter to college, for 10 hours, that is also in Karma Yoga. So then when you run around there, that's also in Karma Yoga. So when you drive back at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're still okay because you're not in Karma, because you're in Karma Yoga. Because you're not doing it for a particular result. But even bringing up kids becomes a problem because parents are doing what? I'm going to bring up kids so one day you can take care of me. Is that Karma Yoga? No. Karma Yoga means I am doing it without attachment to any result of action. I'm doing it because this is my Swadharma. That is the one aspect of it. Now, what is again more Karma Yoga? He'll say, but with the very minimum, understand that our opportunity for growth, For Arjun, this 9 to 5 is that war. He's fighting that war all day. That is his job because he's a warrior. For us, somebody is going to job, somebody is cleaning the house, everybody. My cleaning lady, she literally does everything in a karma yoga. And that's why, I just love her because she's not just working. Whereas so you can be a billionaire or you can be a farmer in karma yoga. And that is where the growth, why karma yoga is important? Because if you can turn your everyday activity instead of work into karma yoga, if we can use every action for your growth, what is karma yoga? Karma yoga will lead to what? Yoga means union, karma and yoga. Right now you're doing karma, change it to karma yoga. It will lead to a kind of a union within you where it basically an elevation. So instead of you going and working every day where you are on a this kind of graph, instead of you going, this is 1 year, 20 years old you started working and this is 80 years old, and instead of you working like this is, if you do karma, this is how your growth is. You can become a millionaire here, that's fine, or not, not all of us are millionaire. But if you're doing karma yoga, then you have this kind of vertical growth too, which is your inner growth. So what does inner growth mean? You will be at peace, you will be at happiness, not sometimes, not when you get something or somebody gives a gift or someone goes on vacation, not that kind of happiness, but a kind of a joy that is all the time there, a kind of an energy that is all the time there, and complete liberation. What is liberation? If you can be happy without a reason, that is liberation. If you can be, my shoulder is hurting, it doesn't make me sad, right? So it is like body cannot make you sad, people cannot make you sad, and situation, nothing can make you sad. Then you're happy. That is the ultimate. Isn't that what you're doing everything for? You had kids, you came to America because you wanted to be happy. You had got married because you wanted to be happy. You got children because you wanted to be happy. You made money because you had a car because you wanted to be. How many things you did, but you were doing all of that, you were thinking will make you happy because the growth was here. It can't lead to a lasting happiness, no matter what you do. But this is what is karma yoga will lead to. So why not use every action? Action is inevitable, right? Krishna said, action is inevitable. Because we are in the body, action is inevitable. So, makes sense? Let's go to the next verse. Any questions on that? I think that's all I have. So, one other way, I'm a drawing kind of analytical drawing person. So, because I contemplate on it a lot, I also draw a lot. I have a notebook and I keep drawing on that, how I perceive it and how I perform it, but how to depict the performance. So here is another way. So this is, let's say, your mind, right? Mind has got how many parts? Your mind. What is the structure of the mind? Think about your mind. One is your manas, your everyday mind. That is your manas. Then is your ahankar, right? The ego. I am this, I am that, I am, all that I am, that is the ahankar. Then is your buddhi, which is your wisdom, your intellect. And then is the chitta, which is your awareness. So this is your mind. And then these are your 5 karmendriya. So these 5 karmendriya, let these 5 karmendriya engage with the world. Let them be out in the world. So the arrow of karmendriya needs to be in this direction. Now, what about sexuality? That is an important one we didn't talk about. What does it mean, celibacy? No. Krishna is saying Jnanendriya control, karmendriya. So if you are in a conjugal relationship, if you are in a marital relationship, having action of sexual intimacy yet having the control of the Gyanendriya, which means you are in a very, a very high union, very, very high sexual. You're using even that union as a karma yoga. You're using the karmendriya of sexual organs, but not for your sexual, just your sexual pleasure, or using the woman as an object, or you're thinking of something else, or your mind is engaged somewhere else. None of that. You are using even that karmendriya, which is your sexual organ, in sexual intimacy for spiritual elevation. That is Shiva Parvati. So that is where we don't say, oh, Shiva Parvati, why are they the ultimate couple? Because even that energy, the karmendriya, is with the complete control of jnanendriya. So that is here. So here is that towards the world, you have these 5 karmendriya. And where do you apply Vairagya? This is where you apply with the word Vairagya, dispassion. And towards inside is the Jnanendriya. Keep your Jnanendriya inside, pointing inward. And this is where, you are doing Vivek, you're using your Vivek. So I am engaging with the world while keeping all my under control. So this is another way to look at it. So even if I am eating something, one person is, if I am involving my habit of eating, but if my Gyanendriya control, then I will eat controlled. Even if I'm having a samosa or a jalebi, I know that this is what I'm going to eat right now. I have chosen to eat this. My friend has made it very lovingly for me. I'm not going to eat 5 of them. I'm going to eat 1 of them. Whereas if my senses are completely outward, then I won't be. Afterwards, I'm going to say, oh, I should have, every time I wanted to lose weight, but I can't lose weight. See, that is what, why people New Year resolution doesn't get fulfilled. So, makes sense? So this is the Gyanendriya and Karmendriya. So next time you're doing any action, just be mindful of this variation. Let's go to verse number 8. Now, what kind of actions? Because that is another thing. People have, I want to do this, right? They are like, whatever they're doing, they don't want to do. They want to be either famous, leave some legacy, so-and-so, Martin Luther King, Mother Teresa, Mahatma, what am I doing? Like that kind, right? You want to be something important. And some action, Arjun seems like what kind of action is Krishna saying? Does he want everyone to be, famous and leave a legacy? Let's see what kind of actions. So let's go to verse number 8. Manoj, you can read it again.
Do your duty. Such action is better than doing nothing. If you attempt to renounce all actions, it would be impossible to maintain your body. In this chapter, Sri Krishna also talks about a sacrificial ritual, a yagna, which often is thought to mean a fire ceremony. You sit, start a fire, and offer everything to the fire. But that's not the true yagna. That's only the outward expression. Krishna explains what yagna really means.
So he's going into, in this, he's basically starting to talk about the next verse. But the actual, we'll see the Sanskrit one. Niyatam kuru karma tvam. Tvam means you. Tvam, kuru means do or perform. Niyatam karma, obligatory action. Do the obligatory action. Karma jyayo hi akarmana. Karma is superior to akarmana, mean lack of karma or inaction or renouncing action, which is what Arjun wants to. Arjun wants to renounce action. I don't want to do anything. I want to become a sadhu and I want to become a yogi. But he's saying karma is better than inaction. What kind of action to do? Obligatory karma. Now, what does an obligatory action mean? Niyatam. The this is an important word. And then the other important word in this chapter is Sharir Yatra Api. Cha means and, but Sharir Yatra Api. Sharir means body, Yatra means journey, Api means even for the journey of the body. Tena prasiddhite karmana. So even prasiddhyate. Okay, so even na prasiddhyate akarmana. So if you do inaction, even the yatra, even the journey of the body will not be possible. Na prasiddhyate. So the important things I wanted to explain to you are two words. One is what is niyatam karma. So that will explain to us what is my, because I have been through that phase, like what am I supposed to do? What is the purpose of my life? What kind of, this seems like nothing too good. Like, if people think, oh, my job, doesn't seem like too good. I am just a this, right? So, what am I supposed, am I, is this it? So niyatam karma is good to understand. The other is sharira. Even your journey of your body will not be possible without action. And here I wanted to explain what is a body, because that needs to be very clear what Krishna is trying to say. So let's go to first the niyatam karma. So in niyatam, let's you have an obligation to what? So it's very much explained that anything that you are right now engaged in is your obligatory action. In case of Arjun, so usually obligatory action was based on the stage of life and they called it the varna and the ashram. So what kind of family you were born in and the ashram. Now the stage of life. So it used to be where you were, whether you were in brahmacharya ashram, whether you were a student life, or you were in grahastha ashram or a householder, or you were a vanaprastha ashram, semi-retired, or sannyas ashram. And then what kind of family you were born in. If you were born a priest, then that decided, if you were a priest and a child, you learned a certain thing. That was your swadharma. That was your niyat karma. If you were like Arjuna, he is in the householder and he's a warrior. So varna and ashram, and so hence he's got certain actions. Now let's translate to right now. For us, it is completely which stage in life you are at. So your karma, niyatam kuru karma, your niyatam karma is whatever you are currently based on the stage of life you're in that you will need to do. So you have obligatory action to your body, right? You need to wake up, you need to brush your teeth, you need to take a shower. There are certain niyatam karma for the body. You have a niyatam karma for your mind. What are your obligations to your mind? Are you filling your mind with all kind of black clouds, or you're filling your mind with white clouds? That's your choice. That's also your obligatory action. What is your obligatory duty to your intellect? And then comes what is your obligatory duty to your family? What is your obligatory duty to your society? What is your obligatory duty to your country? And then what is your obligatory duty to the world? And then to the environment and to the lower beings. This is how they used to define like obligatory, niyatam karma. So like for each one of you have different niyatam karma. In the niyatam karma, now karma doesn't take you to success on its own, but niyatam karma done in the mode of karma yoga will make you successful in the field you are. You cannot chase success. So for example, if a college kid, his niyatam karma, besides of course for his body and all, is about making sure he's studying. It is his niyatam karma in that. That is his obligatory action. He cannot think of success like I am going to become this, but don't want to study today. They're busy, partying and weed and everything else, but I want to, I'm going to one day be a millionaire. It's not going to work like that. Now, somebody who's a mother, her niyatam karma is to take care of the babies. You cannot say at that time, oh, my life is over, babies came and now I can't go to work. Do your niyatam karma. Krishna is saying it is your swadharma. Do your swadharma. If you are a homemaker, it is your swadharma. Don't think it is by mistake that you ended up there. Everything is perfect the way things led to it. So your niyatam karma at a time is not one. Your niyatam karma at a time is based on various things, right? If I am my niyatam karma in a day can vary from time to time. My niyatam karma job is different. What is my obligatory duty at job? What is my obligatory duty at home? As a mother, as a daughter, as a friend, as a sister, what is my niyatam? What is my niyatam karma right now? So whatever is an obligatory action, do that. That is what Krishna is saying. Arjun wants to do something which is outside, right? He wants to become this spiritual guy. He's thinking that is better, like Gyan Yoga is better. Krishna is saying no. Your growth will not come by running away from your niyatam karma. Your growth will come by doing your niyatam karma and then learning how to do that in karma yoga. So running away from obligatory action, renouncing your action is not the answer. So a grahastha, if he's running away from his grahastha, that's not the answer. If a child is running away, that's not the answer. If take anything. If you're running away, it's not the answer. Now, if somebody wants to, build something and that's why they quit college, that's different because they already had figured out some plan. But today, what is happening is people are just not, because everything is coming from desire, right? I want it to be this. So now, I first of all chose another path. And now, cannot do this because this is my niyatam karma. Don't want to do this. But ultimately, the growth will come through the path, karma that you are on. So Krishna says Arjun's growth will come through the war, not running away from the war. Face the wars in your life rather than run away from it. It is your swadharma. You cannot, like people say, don't run away from, any kind of challenging situation, but really facing it in home, outside home, at job, doing your niyatam karma. I'm not saying if you are in a situation where, the husband is beating the wife and wife says it's my niyatam karma. No, that is not the case. That is not what Krishna is saying. Here it is very clear. Whatever is your obligatory action, and you know what it is. I don't have to come and tell you that. You know what it is. But you are just right now maybe wanting to do something else. Whether you do this or you do that. Ultimately, happiness doesn't lie in the action. So, we recently, have this actor, right? Who passed, we don't know what happened, but if he was unhappy, first of all, we don't know, but if he was unhappy, he left in engineering college, right? Because he thought happiness is not there, it's in acting. But see, happiness is not in whether in this or that. Happiness is, did you do that action in Karma Yoga or did you do this action in Karma Yoga? Depending on the stage of the life too. You can't expect to become something if you're not doing this. So if you take any of the names if you idolize somebody, like even Oprah, she has done an action with Karma Yoga. That's what made her successful. So you are looking at the success and going, oh my God, well, Karma Yoga she did. That means they did the action in the service to the people. She wanted to give out the best. Money just flew. And now she's God knows how many houses. But so that, that came. But even today, her focus, if you ask her when she wakes up, she probably thinks how to serve again. How? Because she also knows the house doesn't make her happy. It is, she still, does with Deepak Chopra meditation and she does do all that because she knows happiness doesn't lie in the house. House is a product of it. Okay, now the other word I want to show, karma, obligatory action. So when you say, okay, what is the purpose of my life? Do your action in karma yoga, number one. Even your body's journey will not be happen. Now here, remember, the body is what? We are 5 layers of body, panchakosh. So your journey, your when we say what is body, body is 5 layers, and we will have to talk more again next time too. But so there is your physical body, right? So this is you. We can draw either way, but suppose I drew this way. This is your physical body. Think of it. You know you have got a physical sharir. This is one layer. Then there is your. So that is your Annamaya kosha. Annamaya kosha, which is your physical body. Why is it called Annamaya kosha? Because it's made of Anna, the food you eat. It goes there. Then it's your Pranamaya kosha. Pranamaya kosha is your energetic body. This is the body which you will see some people seem full of energy, others seem constricted. Even in a day, if you get angry, your energy is constricted. If you feel sad, you are constricted. If you are joyous, then or you are even doing some listening nice meditation tape, your your energetic body starts to rise up. Energetic body is not just inside you, it is also can be perceived outside. That's why sometimes you say this person has got nice energy about them, I feel good in her or his presence. You know, you see some of the gurus, people stay at like this much distance from them and they say, oh, I felt something. That is the energetic body. Pranamaya kosha is inside you, but it also goes around you, creates your aura. So they sometimes you meet people like very chaotic, very, I don't like to be near that person. Their energetic body is very chaotic. So pranamaya kosha, and then is your manomaya kosha. That is also your body, sharira. Manomaya kosh. This is your mental body. So this is where your thoughts are, your emotions. So you are the body, but is there emotions inside the body? Emotions can come out on the body as reaction. But where are your emotions? That is in your manomaya kosha. So that is all your feelings and thoughts. And then there is the Vijnanamaya kosha. And Manomaya kosha also goes further out. So people with bad thoughts, you can feel the bad thoughts around you. People with good thoughts, they go further away. They're inside you, but they're outside you too. So that's why when we say, if your mind is clean, the whole room starts getting affected by it. So one bad fish creates all the problems. And then Vijnanamaya kosha is your intellect level. So you have an intellect too. Your mind says one thing, Manomaya kosha, but your Vijnanamaya kosha is also there, right? And then is the Anandamaya kosha, which is the bliss body. So if we look at another way, there is what we say the Sthula Sharir, the gross body. Sthula Sharir is Annamaya kosha. Then the Sukshma Sharir, which is the subtle body, which is the Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, and Vijnanamaya kosha. All three are in the Sukshma. And then there is the Karana Sharira, or the causal body, that is the bliss body. So your entire yatra of this journey of all the 5 bodies will even not be possible if you do inaction. So it's not just a journey of your body, your all the 5 bodies. Imagine if you don't do this is what gets constricted by the 9 to 5 job. What happens is because you're doing in karma, not doing in karma yoga, your energy is so constricted. Either someday somebody said something wrong, or different things happen at work. Your pranamaya kosha completely gets affected. Your mind, the subtle body is affected. You are not in a happy place. You come back home and you are just tired and miserable, and you're like, some people even come home and cry after work, to their spouse, and like, oh, I hate my job, because all this is getting affected. Because all they need to do is not look outside, but change it to karma yoga. Suddenly everything will get less. So even so first thing is to know action is important. There is no running away from action if you want any kind of growth. So before you start thinking about, I'm going to sit down and control my This is what he's saying. You're a hypocrite if you are thinking, okay, I'm going to sit down, but your mind is going everywhere, your Gyanendriya are going everywhere. Instead, let's get involved in action and learn how to control the Gyanendriya. Does that make sense? Now, he will not say that don't do this. Yes, I also meditate every day, but it is about not thinking that this is separate and that is separate. 1 hour I will give for yoga and meditation, or 5-10 minutes I'll meditate. Rest of the day, I'll let my Gyanendriya go everywhere and wonder about with my life and use any kind of senses, and none of that. So that's the idea. Does that make sense? Any questions or thoughts? We are 8:56. So I have
Hey Anisha, so what was that? The Annamaya is the tool, and the three of them are the Sukshma? And
Yeah.
the third was?
Karana Sharira, or causal body. Yeah, that is the bliss body.
Oh, okay.
So bliss body is also not the soul. This is still your sharir we are talking about. Then the Atman is beyond it. Sometimes of course, we don't need to get into that right now, but really, bliss body also people can get stuck at. If sometimes people will use, by Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he's talking about meditation for the purpose of reaching that union with your soul, ultimate union. But people can get stuck where they can get a little bit experience of bliss body, and they're like, oh, I'm happy, I'm fine, but they've not yet experienced deeper. So, but bliss body is a place of where there is bliss. So you are bliss, but this is still within the sharir. We are not even going to the Atman in this. So that is that. And no other thought I have. Niyatam karma naimit, I wouldn't even go there. But these are the two concepts I really wanted to explain. And if all of us can get comfortable in life about what do I need to do, and then how do I need to do will define your state of happiness. So what do I need to do is whatever is your niyatam, and how do I, that is karma yoga. So that we will continue to learn, because he'll talk more about it. But I think that's why I like Gita, because Bhagavad Gita, really I can apply to my job and everything, and be completely happy is a word which we use, but also successful. Very successful. That is there, and you all have to experiment with that, because it's so. Initially your body, you will fight with it. You'll be like, your karmendriya will get involved, and then before you know it, because you're used to your gyanendriya being out, you'll respond again the next time like that, and then fight with your spouse, and then you'll be like, oh, what did I do? Okay, maybe I need to think it next time. So, okay, let's. We didn't even do. I thought we were. Yeah. So, it's 8:59. We are soon going to be up. We didn't do Anulom Vilom. For those, we can do Anulom Vilom, but Anulom Vilom, I didn't make the time for it. So today we are going to skip Anulom Vilom. Those who are on Zoom can stay back for Anulom Vilom if you want. But really, we like to end every session with Anulom Vilom, so it helps calm us down. I would recommend everyone to do 5 Anulom Viloms at home. We will explain why. I'll explain next time. For right now, if you can just trust me and just do Anulom Vilom 5 times every day. Before we need so much mental calmness before even we get to the next stage. So let's just do that. Okay, with that, I think we are at 8:59. I'm very conscious of time. So with that, I would like to bring it to a close. So, namaste.
This is BharatFM.
बजेगा भारत झूमेगा भारत बजेगा भारत झूमेगा भारत
This is BharatFM.
Okay. So we are done with the BharatFM. So we can